Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me. Now today I'm doing a design team project for Club LLLC Crafts using the April product kit. Now if you missed the unboxing of this kit, I'll leave a link at the end of the video for you. But this is everything that you get with your subscription to the product kit. You get actually two stamp sets and also 4 exclusive dies that come with this month's kit. Now every month, of course, everything will be different, but and speaking of every month, tomorrow is the unboxing for the May kit and you are going to love it. But anyway, I'm doing a project today using this April kit to give, for those of you who did purchase the product kit subscription, this is for inspiration. But links will be below in the description area for you in case you're interested. But today I'm going to be doing, this is how I actually store my La La Land stamps. I put them in an Avery pocket and then I actually stamp them on a piece of white cardstock and then I stick that down to a piece of acetate, and then that way I can just store my stamps nice and tidy. But we're going to use the Hippos in Paradise stamp set today. So I'm grabbing a piece of Nina cardstock and I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink and stamp the little hippo that's holding the pineapple. She's so cute. And then I'm just going to color her in using my Copic markers. Normally I leave the colors up in the left hand corner, but I think for this video I think I was close enough to where you could see the caps. So all the colors that I used, I left the caps out for you. But I thought she was just so sweet and I loved the pineapple. And I had actually found some pattern paper in my stash that had pineapples on it. So I think this is going to go really well together. But if you're new and are interested in the La La Land kits, they have 3 kit subscriptions available. So you could subscribe to the whole complete set, the product kit that comes with the 2 stamp sets and the specialty dies. And all of these are actually exclusive to the kit subscriptions. They won't be available in the store from 6 to 12 months from now. So that's a little perk if you are a subscriber. But the 3 kit subscriptions, you can subscribe to the Mac Daddy, which you get everything. There is a stamp subscription, and then there's also a specialty exclusive die subscription. So those are your 3 options, and all of them are great values, especially for the quality of stamps that you're getting. But I finished my hippo here, and to give this little gal a little bit of accent, I added some stripes with my white gel pen and some polka dots with my white gel pen. The stripes kind of coordinated with the pineapples and the pattern paper, so I thought a little bit of detail would be fun. So there she is. Now we're going to grab our pattern papers. I chose four different colors here, and then this is actually from an older paper pad from Basic Gray. It's from the South Pacific collection. Really old. A lot of my paper pads are really old, but I'm going to use them up because I actually like pattern papers on cards. So I'm taking this pineapple one and I'm trimming it down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. So this is going to leave me a little bit of a white border on my card base. Next I'm going to fishtail the end of this diagonal stripe pattern paper. And then I wanted to use the large hibiscus die. So I'm grabbing, I wanted a little bit of yellow in there. So I'm trying to find, going through my scraps and trying to find a yellow piece. And I think this one's going to work out great. So I'm actually going to cut out a yellow flower and then a pink flower. The nice thing about these dies too is the stamen cuts out separately, so it's going to add a lot of dimension to your flower. Now I'm going to take one of my double stitch circle dies. These are also available at Club LLLC Crafts. The stitching is on the inside and then it'll actually stitch on the outside line too. But I'm going to take the medium size and cut out a circle, and then using the larger one I'm going to take a piece of vellum and cut out that for my background. So I have my circles cut out here. Now I am going to take my card base. My card base for this card is the standard A2 size card base. So again, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And I'm just adhering my panel directly to it. Now I'm going to layer the green pattern paper with the vellum, but I want the vellum to overhang on the card base, so I'm just going to trim it down. So it's actually not overhanging, if that makes any sense. Okay, that's going to go there. So now we need to stamp our sentiment. For this card, I chose You Had Me at Aloha, which was just adorable. So I'm just going to place that on an acrylic block, and then I'm going to stamp it with my VersaFine ink. I'm going to grab my little hippo, and then that way I know exactly where to stamp my little sentiment. Lovely. I think that looks so cute. And you can see her little dress kind of matches the pineapples in the back. Kind of, sort of. I was kind of good. I'm going for that look. Okay. Next I'm going to take the striped fishtail paper here, and I'm going to sandwich that between the vellum and then the green cardstock. And then I'm just going to add some dimensional adhesive behind it, so it gives it a little bit of a layered look. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more foam tape. I don't think I added enough. And then once I have that done, I'm going to add some more right behind the vellum. Okay, we're just going to remove the backing, and this is going to actually go a little bit on the left side, a little bit lower on my card base. Lovely, and it's not too bulky too, so I think it's going to be just perfect to mail. Now I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape behind my little hippo, and then she's going to go right next to my sentiment. Now we need to doctor up our little flowers, so I'm going to use some Distress Oxide ink. This is Picked Raspberry, and I'm going to go around the edges of my pink flower and also the little stamen. And then for my yellow flower, I decided to go in with some Wild Honey Distress Oxide ink. Okay. Now I'm going to clean up my little messies, and then I decided I'm going to layer these two together. I'm going to add the little stamens first here. And I just wanted the pink hibiscus to be peeking out from behind the yellow one. And just to make that yellow one coordinate a little bit more with my little hippo's dress, I decided to go in with some Candied Apple Distress Oxide ink. And I'm just going to color in the center of that yellow flower. And I think that's going to coordinate a little bit better with her little dress. Okay, now I'm just going to glue my little flowers together, and again I'm just going to shift them a little bit. I just wanted that pink to show through just a little bit. Okay, now for a little bit more, I grabbed some white jute cord from my stash, and I'm going to loop it around 3 times, and then I'll trim the tails, and then I'm going to secure the center of that with a glue dot. I'm just going to fold that glue dot in half right over the center of my twine there, so there'll still be some sticky on there, and then I can just go ahead and add my flower right in the center. Going to do a little trimming on the tails here. Lovely. And then a little fluffing on my flower. Now for my bells and whistles, I grabbed some sequins from my stash. These are like some white iridescent sequins, and I just added a few here and there to give my little card a little bit of sparkle. And that finishes off my first project using the little Hippos in Paradise stamp set. So cute. Okay. Now we're going to move along to our second project. Today for the second project we're using Tropical Marci, and she is just the cutest little gal. I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock. This is again Neenah cardstock, and I'm going to stamp her with some Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Both of these are Copic friendly. And I did leave the coloring in for Tropical Marci also. And I just left the cap top for you guys so you could tell what colors I used. But the nice thing about these images is they are on the larger side, guys. I had so much fun playing with her hair. I mean, there was tons of room for me to play around with her hair. And I have a blast coloring in her hair. It gave me great practice. But I am just falling in love with these little gals. Oh, I wanted to tell you too that if you are a subscriber to any of the Club LLLC Kits, that there's more perks. Every Tuesday there's inspiration over on the Club LLLC crafts blog. So all the design team will be featuring projects using the kit of the month, which is fantastic. And then also there's available on your little subscription card that when it comes in the mail, there's a link, and if you click on that link, you can actually download projects, step-by-step project guides for you to create some more awesome, inspiring projects. So that's another great thing too. I thought that was really neat. But I'm going to play a little bit of music while I finish up coloring her hair. I did take my time on it, so it did take a little bit of time. But I'll play a little bit of music, and then I'll catch you back as soon as the music's done. Okay, I got her all colored in, and I think she looks so fun. And I did add a little bit of detail to her little sundress / bathing suit with my white gel pen. I just added some little dots on the very top portion and the bottom portion, and then a few on the flower, and then also on the coconut. I think the white just really adds a lot of detail. But I think she is so cute. I'm just going to fussy cut her out, and then we're going to work on our actual card base. I'm going to dot her eyes real fast. But here she is. I'm going to give you a close-up again. And again, I just fussy cut her out. Okay. Now I'm going to grab some more of the same pattern papers that I used from my paper pad. This time, this one, it has hibiscus on it. I think this paper pad was perfect for these little gals. So I'm going to use one of my double stitch square dies and cut out a panel, and then also use that same double stitch square die and cut out half of a panel. Now I wanted to use the large hibiscus flower again, and I'm actually going to cut out 2 of the pink flowers and then 2 of this yellow pattern paper with the hibiscus die. And I did cut out a real 1/4 inch strip of the stripe pattern paper. We're going to go ahead and adhere that to the bottom of the green card paper here. I'm just using my glue to secure it and trimming off the excess. And I've got it crooked, so I'm kind of straightening it up. Okay, for this card, my card base is a top folding A2 size card base, and I am going to add my flower pattern paper to the top eventually. We're going to add the solid green to the bottom first, and then if there's anything overhanging, I can just cover it. Okay, I think that looks great. Now we're going to add our little flowers, but we're going to add a little more detail. So there is still ink left on my little blending tool, so I'm just using the same inks as I used for card 1. This one is Picked Raspberry, and I'm going to go over the edges with it. And then this one's Wild Honey. These are both Distress Oxide inks. For these flowers too, I decided to do a little switcheroo. I'm going to add the different color stamens to the different color flowers. So the pink will have the yellow, and then the yellow will have the pink. So okay, so flowers are done. I decided to take, this is a stitch tag die. It's a smaller, there's 2 sizes, and I'm taking the smaller one, and I'm going to cut it out with white cardstock. I thought that would be a great place to put my sentiment. And then I'm going to grab some of that yellow pattern paper, the same paper we used for the hibiscus flower, and I'm going to cut out my little tag topper there. Just using my glue, I'm going to attach the detail to my tag here. I'm going to fold it and then add some more glue on the back side, securing that down. Lovely. Now I'm going to grab some of my white twine, and I'm just going to double it up, and we're going to tie a bow on the very top. Actually, I want to stamp my sentiment first. I think the bow would make it a little too bulky. So I decided to use the sentiment that came from the Hippos in Paradise that says Another Day in Paradise. I just stamped it with VersaFine ink on the top portion of my little tag. And now here's where I went in and doubled up my white twine, and I'm just going to tie a bow. I'm going to thread it through the top. Usually when I create tags, I always like to bow them. Once in a while I'll leave the strings hanging, but I always like to finish it off with a bow. I'm going to attach my tag to my card base, just using my tape runner. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my flowers. I'm going to add my flowers along the seam between the green and the pattern paper, the floral pattern. And I'm just going to attach them with a glue dot. I had bought a brand new pack, so I thought glue dots would work perfect. And I'm just alternating the colors here. And for my last yellow one, I'm going to move it all the way to the right. I think my Tropical Marci is going to cover up that gap, so I wasn't too concerned about that. Now I'm going to add some foam tape behind my gal here, and then she's going to go to the right side of my tag. I just popped her up, and then I'm going to grab some more of the sequins that I used for card number 1, and I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer to my card base. And then that finishes off my second project. Here she is close up. I want to thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. Again, all links will be down in the description area. I wish you a fantastic day, and remember, tomorrow is release day for the May kit, and I promise it's going to be so fun, so keep a lookout for my video for that. We'll see you again real soon. Have a fantastic day again. Bye-bye.